Hi, my name is Kim and I'm going to be flushing out my water heater today. I went to Walmart to get a few quarts of plain white vinegar. Now I'm just going to hook everything up and then we're going to begin the process. Alright. First thing we're going to do, we're going to unhook the power, because then that's going to keep the valve closed, so when we flush it out it's not going to come out the other way. Let me show you. Okay, I can either go turn off the switch, on and off switch, or easier way, I can just unplug the power from the outlet. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to close off all the valves going into and out of the heater. If you look at this one, this is the inlet which feeds the heater, and this is the outlet which drains from the heater. Okay, so let's see. Some of these may be a little tough, so let's see. Okay, I didn't know which way they go. Right, so we're going that way and we're going that way. Right, by doing that I've closed the valves, which eliminates anything from coming in and coming out. By opening these two, I'm going to let all the stuff going in and coming out, okay? I'm going to take off these. You're going to have a little bit of spillage, but I'm going to hook up my hoses. Right, as you can see, I've taken off the caps. I'm going to take my hoses and I'm going to screw them in. Kind of hard to do it with one hand and film on the other. Okay, so we got that one screwed in. Okay, now let's just reiterate on everything that we've done. And I'll have to get the camera, I'm going to turn it around and you'll be able to see. Okay. Remember, we unplugged it from the wall, or you can either go to the control panel and switch it off over there. Now we move down to the valves. We closed off the in from the main water supply and the one from coming out the heater. Okay, as for the switches were off. We first hooked up the hoses, then we cleaned out the filter, little filter there. You'll get quite a lot of spillage out there, but that's no big deal. Okay, you clean that out, you put it back, then you open up the valve here, you open up the valve there. By opening up the valve, it allows, as soon as you begin flushing, it will flush all the white vinegar throughout the whole system, and it will come down, flow through the open valve into the drain bucket. As you can see, it's been going for about maybe half an hour now. We got another 3/4 of an hour to go, and there's the stuff coming out. Okay, so, and when we started, the solution was crystal clear. Now you see it's turned to a darker color, but that means it's taking out all the impurities. All right, so we're keeping going, and let's just wait and see. I'll carry on a little later time. Okay, it's been a while now. It's been 1 hour, and I'm gonna unplug the whole system. First, I'm gonna unplug it, which stops the pump. Okay, pump is stopped, and it's going to drain out. The very next step I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it off for right now, because what I'm going to do now, I'm going to flush it out with fresh water, and for 5 minutes, which gets all the impurities and all the vinegar out, and then I'll close everything off. Now what I've done, I've opened this valve, I've taken a hose, gone right to the faucet. Now I'm flushing it out. It's flushing all the vinegar and all the sediment out of the water heater, and it's coming out of the external valve. And as you can see, I got a second hose going out to the street. All right, so I'll let this flush for about 5 minutes and then we'll get back onto it. Okay, now I've taken all the hoses off. I've closed off the bore valves on either end. I'm going to take the caps, I'm going to reinstall the caps on each side. Okay, take the other cap, reinstall it. Yep, come on. Go to Holden. Okay, so we got the caps securely closed. We got the valves closed. Now I'm going to open the water slowly. Okay. Slowly let the water in. Okay, bore valves open. Bore valve is open. Okay, so now we are flowing in and we're flowing out. Last thing I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to make sure that I'm not leaking from where I clean my filter. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to hook up the heat, the plug, the heater. Okay, and we're going to hit on. Right, you see the display? Display is now on. Okay, then I'm going to go inside. I'm going to bleed the water system because there's going to be some air inside there. And yeah, and then we should be all good to go. All right.